What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. K-Rino. Good to be here with y'all, man. Laboring through this back pain. I'm laboring through this back pain, man. But we gonna make it. We gonna make it work, man. We gonna keep on working, man. Hope y'all are enjoying y'all's. What time is it? Still Friday night. I made it just in time for it to still be considered Friday night, and glad to be here with y'all. So we'll do this open topic and discuss some things that we have on the plate. And I want to give y'all some props and shout outs as well once we get a few people in the building. And the rules, as always, with open topic are y'all are open and free to ask me whatever questions y'all want to answer or make any statements y'all want to make that y'all might want me to elaborate on or bring to my attention. If I know the answer, I'll answer it. If I think I know the answer, I'll answer it. If I don't, then I'll just say I don't know. But regardless of how we do it, everything will be done with respect and maturity. You know, people who come in with no respect, no maturity, out of there. Out of there like toe up underwear. They gone. Well, it depends. Sometimes the old underwear is comfortable. The old t-shirts and stuff, you keep that stuff. But y'all know what I mean, man. But anyway, y'all hit the like button as you come in if you would be so kind as to do so. And we will get it going, man. I see some of the OGs and some of the OGs and familiar faces are coming in already. But regardless if you're new, old, or in between, I need y'all to hit that like button, that thumbs up icon on your screen somewhere. It's on your screen, man. So let's get it on. This is an open topic. Um, I laid down a little while because, like I say, my back been. Got to shake this back, man. This back don't know how to act. So I've been dealing with that, man. But nonetheless, I'm glad to be in here with y'all. And we'll get it going. I see L and Mark Johnson, the Flat Earth Man, Jimmy Robinson, Brad Warden, Connie, Deeper Elevation, OGs coming in, man. Um, okay, well, Jordan has the first question. I like when the questions come right in, like that. Jordan says, did y'all have a debate about flat and round earth on the Underground Dialogue podcast? Not yet, because I'm trying to find two worthy opponents. And key word being worthy opponents. I need somebody who know the flat earth lingo like the ABCs. And I need somebody who knows the round earth lingo like the ABCs. And then we're going to put them in the arena and let them go at it. So until I find two people that I feel like, I don't want to just bring anybody on, or for either side. I don't want to bring people on for either side. And it's not a good dialogue. I want the dialogue to be legit, scientific. I want it to be fact based and provable for either side, But that's why I haven't lined that up yet. Let's get it on, man. Mark Johnson says, reminds me of your 10 backward ass backwards. My back right now, my back is back asswards. Yeah, I gotta slow down on my little workouts because my back been like my man said on Friday, my neck and my back. I've been messed up. But it's all good. I'll be fine. No worries. No worries, man. Superman got to take a break sometime. I'll be fine. But yeah, right now I'm in a little pain right now. Yono says, what do you think about the Bible? Man, that's a wonderful question because so many people have different opinions about the Bible. Hold on, man. Before I answer that question, please, please, y'all, please, if you haven't clicked the like button, click it for your big brother. Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how my OCD get to bothering me when the people in the chat and the likes are not proportionate. They're not close. If it's, like I said, about 20 something people in here and like 12 likes, that means somebody ain't doing right. Okay, so to answer your question, um, so many people have different opinions on the Bible. The first thing we have to know and understand is that there's more than one Bible. That's more than 5 Bibles. That's more than 10 Bibles. That's so many Bibles, man. And because of the different versions and translations that have come down the pike over the years. So there will be things in one particular Bible that are not in another one because of whoever controlled the text, whoever controlled those manuscripts. They, in some cases, made them lean towards how they felt or what they wanted to ride with. And in other situations, the things got lost in translation. And in other cases, it were just situations where people just people didn't understand what certain scriptures mean, so they created their own version. Now, once you pass that and you want to break it down to, if we just say the more popular versions of the Bible, I would say probably the King James version, uh, particularly in America, might be the most popular versions. Y'all can double check that and correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely the King James version is the most predominant version that I see circulating, even though you have different ones as well. Now, I will go to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says about the Bible. If you read, I just happen to have one handy. If you read this newspaper, which is called the Final Call newspaper, this is an older um, edition, but the Final Call newspaper is a newspaper that is um, released by the Nation of Islam. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings are obviously the foundation of the Nation of Islam. Now, on the back page, on the last page of every Final Call newspaper, you're going to see this very page right here. It said the Muslim program, and you're going to see what the Muslims believe. And hold on, I'm all over the place. I'll just read it to you. It's going to say what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. Now, on the part where it says what the Muslims believe, the third point, it says, we believe in the truth of the Bible. The truth. That's the key word. Because people will say, yeah, I believe in the Bible, man. I believe in the Bible, man. I believe, I read the word I read my Bible every day. But it goes on to say, we believe in the truth of the Bible, but we believe that it being the Bible, it has been tampered with, meaning somebody done messed with it. They done took some stuff out, added some stuff in, changed some stuff. And it says, we believe that it's been tampered with and must be reinterpreted so that mankind will not be snared by the falsehoods that have been added to it. So he's saying that there have been falsehoods added to the Bible, but despite that, there's still some truth in it. They weren't able to take out all the truth. So if you are able to understand which parts of the Bible are actually true and not, then you can keep what you need, throw out what you don't. What happens is a lot of people, once they catch a little of that falsehood, they throw the whole book away. And if that's what you choose to do, then that's what you choose to do. But the reality is is that truth is truth. If there's some truth in it, then you still hold on to that truth. So yeah, we believe in the truth of the Bible. That's cool. You got to learn what that truth is. But a lot of it and different versions and different interpretations of it has been stepped on like some dope. You know, they step on some pure dope for all my people that used to sell crack and dope and cocaine and all that back in the day. They step on it. That means they mess with it and messed up the purity of it. Hate to use a drug analogy, but that's the best I could come up with at the time. All right. Let's see something. And I forgot. Okay, there we go. All right, let me see. What's up, Orlandis? Long time, my brother. Chris B says, was listening to some old school, and I was wondering if you ever grabbed a mic and kicked someone off the stage like Chubb Rock. I ain't know Chubb kicked somebody off the stage. You mean, was that in the video? Well, speaking for myself, nah, I ain't never personally, physically kicked anybody off the stage. I've never done that. We came close one time, but we didn't do it. But no, we've never kicked nobody. I've never kicked nobody off the stage. Nah, I never been in that type of situation. You know, not to say I wouldn't, but you know, I've had. I treat people like I want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have a few knuckleheads that get overzealous at times, and a lot of things are based on your intent. Just I've had overzealous fans that are just happy to see me, and in that moment of being just happy, they might get a little too grabby or touchy, and they don't really mean nothing by it, but they don't realize in the moment that they're violating the personal space law. You know, so you got to kind of let them know. You know, but outside of that, nah, I ain't never did nothing like that. But so when you say with Chubb Rock, are you referring to something that really happened? Why do I feel like it was a video where Chubb Rock did that? And speaking of Chubb Rock, man, I was just having a conversation. I was talking about Chubb Rock yesterday because I didn't know that Chubb Rock came to Houston about 3 months back. I didn't know. I saw this video clip when I was online a few days ago, and I saw Chubb Rock at this event that was in Houston. I knew exactly where they was, and I was like, "Oh man, I ain't know Chubb came out here," because I would have definitely. I never saw Chubb Rock in person. All these years of being a Chubb Rock fan, I never saw him in concert, never saw him in person. So when I saw he was down here and I missed it, I was mad. Yeah. Okay, y'all, let me see. Ben Wynn, what's up, my friend? Ben says, bring two from the song, bring the two from the song. That would be me and me, with me in the middle. It's three. It's like I'm the moderator. What's up, Ben to the win? Ben, you still out of town? You ain't back in the H yet? Appreciate that, EDJ. Thank you. The Murder Fiend, what's up, homie? The Murder Fiend is in the building. Man. Murder Fiend says, what up? That Mind Vision CD I got from you is ill. On Top of the Struggle and Secret War. The Cleansing Room. Underrated song, The Cleansing Room. Appreciate that. Hood politics. Appreciate that. Murder Fiend. Murder Fiend, man. Been rocking with me all this time. It was good to see you. Good to see you, my brother. Yeah, yeah. Rappers and even singers get punished for their vanity. Reach in your chest and remove all of your air manually. How can you grab air? Come on, L, I see you. EDJ says, so do you believe in one truth and the rest are lies? Like scripture translation, there has to be one true way. It must be understood despite different versions. Absolutely. See, there's an old saying that says God is not the author of confusion. God is not the author of confusion. So all of the different translations, all of the different interpretations, all of the different books and this and that and that and this and that and that was done by the hands of men. That was done by the hands of men who made scripture to lean towards their own understanding in some cases. See? Now, when you if you take this thing all the way up to the creator himself, then I'm of the belief that there's gonna absolutely be one truth. The creator's not gonna look at 5 people and say, okay, well, you got your truth. Okay, there's yours. There's no, you have your version. He has his version. She has his version. But there's only one truth. One. That's it. So there will be some people that will be totally right. There'll be some people that will be totally wrong. There will be people who, because you got to understand another thing, you may really feel that what you have is the truth, but you could be wrong. You know, you could be wrong. You could be sincere in what you believe in. And I believe that God would not penalize or punish you or us if we sincerely believed what we had was the truth. If that's how we really honestly felt. You know, it's different when you are deceiving people because you have people who know what the truth is, certain categories of truth, certain subject matter where it's like, okay, they purposely switched this, they purposely changed this. And we talk about that type of stuff all the time. Those are deceivers. They know the truth. But yeah, but it's only one truth, regardless of what category we in. If we talking about uh, whether the earth is flat or round, there's only one truth to that. That's gonna be one answer to that. It ain't gonna be, well, since you believe that, that's just true for you. It's true for you. No, it ain't no such thing. That's a cop out when people, well, whatever you believe is what you believe. That's no, that's your truth. That might be your truth, but it don't necessarily mean it's the truth. I could believe that 2 plus 2 is 11. That don't mean it is. Hold on, y'all. I got lost. Man, hold on. Lion of Judah said they put some benzoil in it. They putting all kind of stuff in the truth because we living in a time where the I wrote a song a long time ago called "The Grand Deception." Grand just means big, just enormous. That means we've been deceived on a grand level, on a large scale. We've been deceived, and I mentioned so many different things that we have been deceived about, but I can't possibly cover all of them because it's too much. But the people who are in power right now, albeit temporarily, they take ownership of the knowledge and they do with it what they please. They distribute it how they please. They remix it. It's like a producer with a song. They remix it and release the remix to the public. But you ain't heard the original. Or you might have heard the original and I don't like that remix. Some people like the remix. Deeper Elevation says, why don't we ever discover our own history? Where is our group of archaeologists finding discoveries instead of them? No disrespect. No, but we got that. We got that. See, what we have to do, we have to search for those great black scholars and, like you say, archaeologists and historians. They everywhere, everywhere. I remember being a young dude in my 20s, and I was invited out. I think it was me, my dad, one of his friends invited us to to one of the local colleges. I think it was TSU right here in Houston, to hear a man speak by the name of Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen. And if anybody knows, y'all know who Doc Ben is. If you don't know if you never heard of Doc Ben, Yusuf Ben Yakinen, go look him up. This man is a grand historian of black everything. Goes all the way back. And we watched him speak, and later on, I found out all of the great history and all of the books he's written and all the books he's studied. So he's one of those people who doesn't get mentioned because he would be one of the perfect candidates to teach us about our history. And he's just one. But also we have scholars and archaeologists, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. We have many great black historians who everything you saying, why don't we have that? We have it. We don't discover it because, again, the grand deceiver made a decision a long time ago that, okay, we got to keep black people in the dark. We can't let no light enter into their minds. So we got to hide anything that's reflective of their greatness, anything that talks about the true history, because we talked about what's true and what's not. A lot of this history, if discovered, will expose the deceiver because it would tell you who you are. But if you study, if you go back, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, go study his teachings and you'll learn. You'll see, oh no, okay, this is available. This is available. History, you got to study history, but we can't stop at or just only study what they taught us in the schools, because they only gave us what they wanted us to have in the school. The school is a scam. School is a scam. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not telling you to pull your children out of school, but I'm telling you to teach your children before they go. Hey, look, for the sake of functioning in this world to some degree, go to school, get that little piece of paper that they're going to give you. But we're going to be focused on real history. We're going to be focused on deep science and mathematics that they're not going to give you in the school, because a lot of that stuff they don't even have. Now, the history, they intentionally hid that. They intentionally withheld certain aspects of it just so we wouldn't have the self-esteem we need once we know who we really are. And you have archaeology. You don't just take a black archaeologist. You have white archaeologists who just, they true to the craft. They had to get a game up. Because when they found bones and skeletal remains of individuals who were hundreds of thousands of years old, up to millions of years old. They said, oh man, when they broke down the forensics and got into the DNA and all this, man, this was a black woman. Couldn't deny it. This coming from the white scholars and archaeologists. So the truth is the truth. Great questions y'all asking so far. Man, why is this the second time tonight somebody brought this up, man? Wait a minute. Terrence Miller says, who do you think started crunk music? I just had this conversation with somebody last night. I can't remember who was just talking about. I was just talking about this last night. This must have been a topic that came up on social media. Had to be. This had to be a topic that came up on social media. This is my second time hearing this in the last day or so. To be honest with you, Terrence, I don't know. I don't know who started crunk music, man. I have no clue. Some people was arguing. Some people were saying it was like 3-6 Mafia. Some people were saying it was Lil Jon in Atlanta. So it was Memphis, Atlanta. I heard the argument. I sat there and I listened to the argument between the people that was having the conversation, and I was quiet. I didn't say nothing. I listened to them talk about it because I don't know. I don't really know. I couldn't tell you. Y'all better qualify than me. But I will say this, and this is only a theory of mine. I'm not speaking, I won't speak on who started crunk music. But the word crunk, just that word, crunk, I really believe that started in Houston. And I know some of y'all don't say, oh man, you just saying that because you live in Houston. Nah, man. Early 90s. We used to say when something was really live, something was really popping and hyped up, we was, man, hey man, that club was crunk last night. Now that's normal for people to hear now, but we were saying this back in the early 90s, like, man, them boys, they came through there, man, and they crunked that thing up. That's how we used to talk. And back in the days, cars have always had music and systems in the car. They used to have what they used to call where Ben Wynn at? Ben Wynn in here somewhere, so I need somebody that's from the old school that can back me up on it. They used to have what they used to call crank it up contests with the cars. See whose system was the loud. He was like, man, crank it up. You crank it till it's crunk. Now, in music, we got a legendary group out here called Street Military. Y'all might be familiar with them. They had a song back in the early 90s, and they used to go, crank this up, crank this up. It's like, these were the early times of us taking crunk and crank it up and all that and put it into music. So I just feel like the word crunk started out here. But that's just my theory, my opinion. Don't attack me. I could be wrong. But as far as what they call crunk music, I know Lil Jon and I know the three. I don't know who started it, bro. I couldn't tell you. I know we used to say crunk long before we ever heard it used on records. That was part of our lingo, part of our slang. Yeah. Don't put me with them beta kinds. They say great minds think alike. Well, that's between them because I'm a greater mind. Come on, L. Yeah. Open topic tonight. Y'all on fire, man. Y'all on fire early. We ain't even 30 minutes. We batted 30 minutes in, man. Jimmy says, have you ever had to deal with a heckler while performing? Have I ever? Not a heckler. I've had people like boo, like boo, like boo, you know, like from like a hating like standpoint. It might be like one person or something like that, one or two, but never just a heckler just constantly going in like you'll see at a comedy show, you know. Um, that's not really a thing in Houston. I can't speak for other cities, but in Houston, I mean, where I live, really, I mean, just particularly in the South or whatever, you know, people are gonna walk off. To my experience, like if they looking at you and they ain't feeling you, they'll look for a little while and they'll just they just walk away. You know what I'm saying? So, nah. All right. Chris B says I got it wrong. KRS-One did it to PM Don. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I've never done it, but it's been done. Boys and got snatched off the stage before. I've seen it, but I've just never had to do it. But yeah, it's been done. Like I say, the KRS-One PM Don incident is very well known to people from the old school. You know, it's very well known, but you know, it's not the only incident. You know, a lot of cats have got strong armed off the stage. You know, for whatever reason. You know, maybe they done something wrong, or maybe just somebody just came through just massive numbers and just decided they was going, you know, decided they was going to just bum rush your set. It just depends. Lawrence Huggins, I see you. Lester Smith, I appreciate the donation, my brother. Thank you so much for the love. Shout out to Lester Smith, man. He got his spot in the comic book. The Annihilation of the Evil Machine comic book is getting ready to drop next month. And we might got like a couple more spots for ads. Like if you want to get your album cover or your business promoted in the comic book, if you want to get an ad in the book, because these comic books are just like the first one, they're limited edition. So, you know, if you want to get your ad and promote what you got going on in the book, hit me up. It ain't but like two left. We're not doing a bunch of ads. It's gonna be like two more left. So LeBeau says, say no to digital ID, folks. Yeah, give us some information on that. Elaborate on that. LeBeau, what they doing? What they doing? Yeah, yeah. He said, do not comply. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, give us the game. What did you see? What have you seen? This is a space where we give up the game up in here. Gullah Gam says objective and subjective truth. Yeah, absolutely. LeBeau says hit the like button on your way in, folks. That's right. You're just coming in, hit that like button. This open topic. We already on fire, man. Y'all hitting me with some good questions. Yep, yep. Trap Mob God says, no man will understand the truth if God would explain. God doesn't answer his creation. Man won't follow the simple rule. I disagree with that. I believe that God will answer his creation. God wants us to know, you know. And you said no man will understand the truth if God would explain. Who better to explain than the knower of all truths? And he has the ability to explain it in a way that you would have no choice but to understand it. He's not going to explain something to us that goes over our head. He knows who you are. He knows how to say, he knows how to explain it to you. And then he can turn around and explain it to me in a way that I will understand, but I may not have understood it in the way he told it to you. We got to give the creator more credit than that. Lion of Judah said that's the very first song that got me hooked up to Grand Deception. Oh, I appreciate that, brother. Gullah says Valley of Decision to me kind of explains what one could go through searching for truth. Yeah, but but also too, Valley of Decision was more so the internal war of an individual choosing God or devil, right or wrong. That's that internal, like, what you gonna do? Good observation. Plans nonstop. Man, thanks for the inspiration and wisdom. I love to see what you and does it say Damo? DJ Domination? You talking about DJ Domination when you say Damo? Love to see what you and Damo think about some of my lyrics. Plans. Australia. Man, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. Absolutely. Let us know where we can check you out. Appreciate that, Gullah. Syntax. Deeper elevation. Always NOI.org is a great source for books and information. But hit me up, hit my email up, and I'll dig some more out for you. Some people you need to familiarize yourself with. You got to look up great black historians, great black scientists, great black archaeologists, you know. All of the sciences and knowledges of the world started right in Africa, right in the motherland. We're the seed of technology, information, all of it. Okay, that's what it is. Lil Jon and DJ Paul going at it. Okay. All they got to do is go back to when the first record came out. Records are dated. They have a date what year the album came out. Now they maybe could argue, but we was doing it before we put records out. But I mean, you got to go by what's documented. Yeah. Okay. TLOL, have you ever heard of Tommy Wright? Yeah, I'm very familiar. Tommy Wright been around a long time. Been around a long time. It used to be this magazine called Murder Dog Magazine back in the days. And it was like the same way that people viewed the Source magazine when the Source magazine was really popping, or when XXL was really popping as a hip hop magazine. Murder Dog was that for us, for the underground independent artists. Legit magazine, man, and Murder Dog was the real deal. And that's when I first started learning about artists like Tommy Wright, Trick Trick, um, even early on Master P and some other ones that slip in my mind. But a lot of great underground artists from different regions around the world, you saw them first. Well, I saw them. I was familiarized by a lot of them through Murder Dog magazine, and Tommy Wright was one of them. T Rock, people like that, man. Yeah, Tommy Wright is an OG, man. Player Fly, Killer Mike back in the days, you know. Learned about all these people in the Murder Dog magazine before they popped off. Yep, yep. Is that my homie Texas Fred? What's up, Fred? Lion of Judah said, if you're not looking for the truth, you'll never find it. That's right, because they got it tucked away. And they're not gonna voluntarily present it to you if it exposes them. Yep. Cameron Queen says, I think Spanish Fly was the first. Okay. I see you, Demetrius. Syntax says, I think getting crunk is ancient. Ancient music. Apocalyptic Minister says there's a video comparing Lil Jon versus. Oh, okay, you got the conversation going. Okay. Gullah say, shout out to Pharaoh, no question about it. That's right. Come on, Jimmy. Street Military had a song called I Don't Give a Damn. I don't know what year it came out. I want to say 92, 93-ish. Yeah. KCR, what's going on? Man, come on, man. See, I love when people mention songs that people don't talk about a lot. I got a song called Tension that I've never heard mentioned before tonight. Shout out to KCR. Okay, DJ Fred, Texas Fred know what it is. We were saying crunk. When were we saying crunk, Fred? We were saying crunk in the early 90s. Am I telling the truth? I'm just saying the word. We've been saying the word. I can't say who came out with the genre first. I don't know. I ain't gonna speak on something that I don't know. Michelle Wood says, do you think crump dancing came before the music? I think hip hop dance was first and then crump dancing. Well, I'm not familiar with crump like that. I've heard of it. I don't know its origins like that. So I wouldn't be the person qualified to answer that question. But when you say hip hop uh, dance, the first thing pops into my mind is breakdancing. You know, now we know breakdancing. To my knowledge, what I'll say when I was first familiarized with breakdance, that was like in the early '80s, early to mid '80s, is when I started. That's when breakdancing became a thing. Were they doing it in New York long before that? Somebody who knows better than that would have to answer that question. I don't know, but crump, I don't know the history of it, but I know I had never heard of that until some years and years later. So, yeah, I'm probably not the one to answer that question there, Michelle. What's up, Jeremiah? Appreciate the love. DJ Frio Fred says, question, is the hip hop police real? Yeah, they real, but they may not be who you think they are. They are the owners of these labels. They are the owners of the corporations that uh, house radio. See, they are the ones who they control. They are the controllers of distribution of the music. See, they control labels. They control radio. They control social media. They control TV. See, so yeah, they are the hip hop police because they are the very ones who decide what is pushed out into the ears of the people. So they can listen to something and say, nah, we can't let that catch on. If that catches on, it's going to wake people up. They can also say, okay, yeah, we'll let this catch on because if this catches on, it's going to make them fools kill each other, get hooked on dope, go crazy on sex and materialism, and it's going to kill us mentally, get us locked up. See? They want to kill you mentally and physically. So they are the police. They police the content. So yeah, it is a real deal. Keep the king, I see you. TLOL says, who was mostly making the beats for the early SPC days, like Nip's first album, your first album, Point Blank? Dopey was our primary producer back in the early days. From myself to Nip to Point Blank to countless others, Murder One. Dope was like our main producer. Now, Klondike Cat produces a lot of his own stuff. Dope did some production for Cat, but Cat is a producer in his own right. I produced my first two albums, all me, with guidance from Dope in Egypt. Can't forget about Egypt. Egypt E definitely was one of the producers early on in the early days. Can't forget about Egypt. But if you go to Nip's album, of course, Dope, but Nip had people like Beto, Crazy C. These are all H-Town legendary producers that y'all may not be familiar with, but if you in Houston, you know who these people are. These are legendary producers. Big Swift, people like that. That still, Swift still a monster in production right now to this day. There's just so many great producers. You got now I'm just naming producers from Houston. I'll answer the question, but I'm thinking about people like Harvey Love and Muhammad 2G. Who am I forgetting, man? Icy Hot. Who am I forgetting? I gotta help me out. Oh, Mike B. Come on, man. Mike B. Come on, man. Speaking of which, even though this ain't on subject no more, y'all go check out the latest episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast. We did the PSK 13 interview, man. It was on fire, man. PSK dropped some jewels. So when y'all get off of here, y'all still woke and need something to do, go watch the latest episode of Underground Dialogue podcast with South Park Coalition's own PSK 13, man. Y'all gonna get some history that y'all didn't know about, from Pimp C to Screw. Y'all South Park Coalition, y'all gonna get some history that I didn't even, some of the stuff I didn't know about. Yeah. I'm just a messenger from above. What's going on? Wa alaikum salam, K Solo. I see you. Yeah. Stephen Cox says, let's get real for a minute, y'all. It's time to get us some gold and silver for survival. The system is breaking, brother K-Rino. So absolutely breaking. Again, The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote a book called Fall of America back in the 60s. And it talks about this time we're living in right now. The collapse of the U.S. economy, the decline of the dollar. And unfortunately, the leadership in this country is accelerating the fall of America. Um, let's just call it for what it is. So when the dollar, which already has no value, is already just printed paper, it has no value. So what Stephen is talking about, um, not to speak for him, but I'm just kind of, I'll build on what he's talking about. You know, that was a time where the US dollar was backed by silver and gold. It was on the gold standard. Now it's just paper. I'm dropping a new album. I guess I'll give y'all a quick hint of what's coming. My new album is called The Industry. It's dropping next month. I have a song on that album called Dead Money. It's called Dead Money. And it's kind of touching on what Steven is saying, man. The system ain't breaking, it's broke. It's broke. We are in a country that is close to $40 trillion in debt. Think about that for a minute. The deficit of the United States of America is close to $40 trillion. Think like $36 trillion. You ain't getting out from under that. And the thing about debt, if there's a debt, it's just not a word floating around. If there's a debt, that means that debt, you know, is owed to somebody. There are nations that own America, chunks of America. It's real, man. It's real out here. Y'all don't care about how we feel out here. All these years and we still out here. Plans Nonstop says maybe we in the thoughts of the creator and space is the electricity and the firmament is a bubble of the idea we in, and Matrix is revisiting the thought. Woo wee, boy, you you got a lot of stuff mixed in that gumbo, man. I don't know about all that, but you know, I don't like to use maybe when I'm speaking about the creator. I tried my best to be as definitive as I can based on, you know, what I've been taught and what I believe. But maybe usually points to us leaning to our own understanding. And that's something that I try to stay away from, me personally. Happy holy day and blessed holy day of atonement to you, K Solo. I'm glad you brought that up. Yesterday, well, October the 16th, you know, it's officially Saturday now, but Friday was October the 16th, and it 2025 marked the 30-year anniversary of the Million Man March. Now, for some people who are old enough, we remember seeing the Million Man March. We remember hearing about the Million Man March. Some of us even went to the Million Man March. Now, the significance of that is that when Deeper Elevation was asking me earlier about, man, like basically how, you know, how can we find out the history and the knowledge and things of that nature. And I was saying, we got to dig for it. We got to immerse ourselves in that course of study, because we live in a world that buries the truth, hides the truth, suppresses the truth, changes the truth into a lie. So we've been talking about that. We spoke about that with scripture. I'm saying all that to say the Million Man March was the greatest gathering of individuals that I can think of in modern time. I can't think of personally reading of any time in history prior, no matter how far back you go. I'm not saying it hadn't happened, but I can't recall ever reading about or knowing about a gathering of people. We knew it was black men, but I'm saying people in general, almost 2 million black men gathering on the mall in Washington, D.C. 30 years ago. I saw it with my own eyes. It ain't something I had to read about. But the question we got to ask is, why don't more people know about it? Why isn't it talked about more? Why isn't it mentioned in a vein of being what I said, the greatest gathering possibly of all time? And the answer to the question is, it's all because of who put it together. So if the rulers of this world, and this nation in particular, if they view the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan as a threat and as an enemy, which they do, then they're not going to acknowledge or promote or speak of the Million Man March in the light that it should be spoken of as the single greatest gathering of all time. See? Because they don't want the very black men that they are trying to destroy on a daily basis. They don't want them black men to know or hear about or read about a gathering of 1,000% unity and peace. You got a sample size of our true unity and power on that day. Like, man, this is like heaven. You got 2 million, almost 2 million black dudes in the same spot, and there was not a report of not one fight. Think about that. And you can't go to your grandma's house on a Sunday without getting into it with your cousin. Why don't we hear about the Million Man March like that? Why is it not in the history books in schools the same way we hear about the March on Washington? And absolutely no disrespect to the March on Washington. That was a great gathering, great event. Martin Luther King. But to my knowledge, to my recollection, the March on Washington, and we're not playing my bicycle is bigger than yours, but the March on Washington was only 250,000 people there. And don't take lightly the word I'm saying only, but it was 250,000 people gathered at the March on Washington. We talk about almost 2 million. And they tried to lie and say it wasn't that number. They tried to change the number, bust the number down to 400,000 and nah, because there were professional. What is the term of the people who gauge crowd numbers? There's a occupation. There's a term for the people who they fly over events and they can calculate crowd numbers based on, I guess, whatever methods they use. And those people told it for what it was. So yeah, the Million Man March anniversary came and went without a lot of people really knowing about it. But if something else happens that's of less of no significance at all, or something that just is frivolous or ignorant, oh, it's all over. We talking about it because this is how you know what's real and what ain't. Usually, the person or the thing or the event that this nation tries to, or this world tries to suppress the most, that's usually what we need to be looking at. So why they don't tell us about why they don't talk about the Million Man March? Why? Why they don't talk about it? They don't want you to see no examples of that kind of unity, and they hate the man who put it together. But it's too many people that was there, too many people that are still around that was there, and there's too many people that love the minister and know that God's hand was on that event. Mr. Farrakhan, he's so evil, he's so racist, he's so mean, or whatever y'all want to say about him. But God gonna bless him to put together something like that with nothing but love in it, nothing but unity in it, nothing but peace in it. You're doing a bad job at being evil and corrupt. Everything you keep doing, Mr. Farrakhan, keep turning out to be blessed and great. That's because he's not evil, he's not corrupt. Come on, man. Sorry that answer was long, but you struck a chord. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. I'm sorry my answer was long, y'all. I apologize for that, man. I gotta find my spot again, y'all. I'm sorry. Brad Warden says, what do you think about Immortal Technique, Diabolic, Ill Bill, Killer Pre? All of them dope. Every last one. Not as familiar with Ill Bill, but I've heard of him. But definitely Immortal Technique, Diabolic. Definitely Killer Priest. Come on, man. Can't say enough about them dudes. I love it anytime somebody bring their names up. What's up, Glandor? I see you. Mr. Raspy, I see you. Trap Mob says, man, they think they are the same level of God for him to explain. Even when you read the Bible, no man could speak to God directly. Only the Christ could. Man of sin is born in sin. Well, there's a scripture in the Bible that says Moses spoke to God face to face as a man speaketh to his friend. So I had to disagree with you when you said when you read the Bible, no man could speak to God directly. It clearly says, he spoke to God face to face as a man speaketh to his friend. That's the exact quote. Abraham spoke to God. Abraham washed God's feet according to the scripture. I'm just saying, this is in the book. I didn't write it. I'm just saying what it say. Man, I'm getting lost out. I'm sorry, man. TLOL says, "Are you nocturnal?" Yeah, very extremely nocturnal, bro. I like being nocturnal though. I'm not. I don't. And when I say nocturnal, I don't sleep all through the day and just be up all night. I'm just a night person. I understand what you're saying when you say that. Mr. Raspy says, "What do you think of that movie, The Perfect Neighbor?" I haven't seen it. About the crazy racist white lady who killed that black woman who was a mother. It's a true story. Everybody that's just coming in or been in for a minute, if you haven't clicked the thumbs up, please do that for your big brother right now. Click that thumbs up right now for your big brother. Is that based on a true story? What is it on? Where can I watch it? You got me interested. I might want to watch that. Brad Warden says, "After the fact is a hood one you listed recently in open topic." Thank you. I appreciate that. Matt Greer says, "Yes, we were saying that back." Yeah, Crunk, man. Yeah, we've been saying that. Oh, yeah, I'm way behind. Apocalyptic Minister said Murder Dog did some work. Tech Nine, that's another one I first saw. First heard of Tech Nine on Murder Dog magazine. That's right. That's right. Good looking out. Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay. Oh man, you gave it away. Say she got 25 years in prison. I didn't know. You could have kept. Don't give away what happened. Now I'm gonna watch it already knowing what happened. Spoiler alert. Terrence Miller says, "Cash Money versus No Limit versus Cash Money. Who do you think put on harder for Louis?" Man, you know what? I put them. I put them as equal. When you talk about who put on for Louisiana, man, they both, man. They both absolutely. And we claim them down just for the South period, but understanding that they are both from the great state of Louisiana, Matt, both of their movements were so great, man. It's hard to say who put on the best. I promise you in my heart, I hold them equally, man. Because what Master P did in terms of coming in, building from nothing. Now P preceded Cash Money, so maybe Cash Money possibly use Master P's template to like, okay, we're gonna kind of follow along the way that Master P did it, and that's cool, that's fine. But man, the hits, the entrepreneurship of the both CEOs, well, all CEOs involved, because we hear about Baby, but Slim is just as important. Slim just be in the cut. Slim don't do all that talking and be out in the front. But Baby, Slim, built the empire, man. Master P built the empire. And the key to any label, the key to the success of any label is the roster. ROSTER, the lineup that they have on the label, the artists that they have, man. So you look at Cash Money's roster, you look at Master P and No Limits roster, man, they both did it, bro. So when they do this versus battle, which we know is coming up, I'm not gonna be looking at it as a winner or a loser, because both sides have songs that when these songs come on, the crowd gonna go crazy for both. Now you can make your picks on who you think have the most bangers, or however you want to phrase it. But for the most part, man, nah, man, both those labels deserve salute. Plain and simple. I love both of them, man. I love all of them, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Those are some good times. Michelle says breakdancing was first, then hip hop next, and I think crump next. Well, I I include breakdancing into just see breakdancing is one of the pillars of hip hop. So I don't separate it. Now people have come along to commercialize aspects of hip hop, and those are we're coming out with our brand new hip hop dance instruction tape. So they'll say hip hop dance, and it's like there are dances that developed during the hip hop era that are fused into the music because okay, somebody mess around, start cabbage patching. It was always rap songs about dances. I remember they had a song back in the day called "Do the Pee Wee Herman." You know, I remember another song. There was a rapper named B Fats. He had a song called "The WAP." And then later on, there were other songs called "The WAP," but the first song called "The WAP" was by an artist named B Fats. So you had dances that were made up. The Running Man and like say the RoboCop and all these dances were dances that were created during the hip hop era, and they were done to hip hop music. But break dancing itself is called one of the five elements of hip hop. Is it five? Is it four? I want to be accurate. And even like dances, like other dances, like I said, I'm not really familiar with crumping, but there have been other dances that have come along. They're still done to like hip hop music, so they're like spin-offs. All right. Piper File says, "You bring me strength and encouragement when you speak." God bless you, man. God is great. Anything I do, anything you say I do, God did it. I appreciate that, my brother. Stick with me. Sam King says, "Piper, you bring him strength." See, everybody feed each other. See, that's how you do it. We all feed each other, man. Trap Mob say DJ Screw and the Screwed Up Click, early 90s in Houston tapes. You sometimes hear rappers say things like, "We got crunk." Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like we were saying crunk before. I feel like we made the word up. Now, whatever turned it, how the genre caught on in the music side, I don't know about all that. And I ain't got to be right. Oh, there you go, Lester. Solo. Double D. Come on, man. AAAB. What you say, my brother? Yeah, Beto and Crazy C. Mike B. Um, all these legendary H-Town producers. Jaime. Yeah, man. Jaime Sinatra. We can't forget about the great Jaime, man. Still active. Y'all ever want to see one of the dopest live performances right now to this day? If you ever see Jaime perform, you're going to see one of the dopest stage shows ever. No special effects, no flying monkeys, just Jaime doing this thing, man. Telling y'all, man, you got to learn that history. Okay, Landon said that episode was dope. He saw the PSK 13 episode. If y'all have not saw the latest episode of Underground Dialogue Podcast, I want y'all to catch up for the whole month. Go watch the Craig G episode. Go watch PSK. Can't remember what happened. Oh, Sumo. My memory's bad, but yeah, Sumo. Go watch Sumo, man. Go watch the Underground Dialogue Podcast. Shout out to everybody who supports the Underground Dialogue, man. Brad Warden says, I still think if you, K-Rino, and Bone Thugs could make a collab, that would be fire. Well, we'll get y'all close enough. I think we got a song with Crazy Bone coming on the Path of Destruction album. Orlando says, hey, big brother K-Rino, I'd like me to interview Chuck D. Man, I would love that. Can you hook me up? Yeah. You got a plug? I love to sit down with the great Chuck D, man. I got to do KRS-One again, man. We didn't get the audio right on that. That was like my greatest thing ever for me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I did mention Die Ball, God's dummy. Now, Murder One don't produce Apocalyptic. Dope did tracks for Murder One. Yeah. Let me try to catch up. Try to catch up, man. Jesse P, what it be, man? Much love. I see you, my brother. Fred says, my dad asked me, did you go to school? Yeah, I went to school. I went to elementary, middle school, and high school. Once I graduated from high school, I was through. I hated school. I hated the schoolwork part of school. I didn't mind the social side of it. I didn't mind lunch. Apocalyptic said, did AC Chill help produce before he left us? AC started messing around with production later on. AC had some songs in his hard drive. I don't know where those songs are now, but he was messing around with some computer programs and some production stuff. He was starting to work on production. But I did most of AC's production. Believe it or not, I was producing heavy back in the day. I did the majority of AC's beats back in the day. Steven says, I'll be sure to get the album. Yeah, man, get the album, man. The new album is coming, man. That's the name of it. It's called The Industry, spelled just like that. Dropping next month. So y'all get ready for that. Buy physical copies. Buy physical copies. Buy physical copies. You can still stream it too. Go on, stream it too, but stream it and then get the physical copies too. Do both. Incubus, what's going on? Say, wish you had an e-bike battery. What you gonna do with it? Jesse P says, have you ever interviewed ESG? ESG was one of our early interviews. Yeah, you got to go back. Yeah, all you got to do is put in ESG Underground Dialogue Podcast. You'll see that interview. It's time to bring him back, as a matter of fact. You know, we 2 years in now, Jesse, so out of H-Town, we done pretty much got mostly. There's still a lot of rappers out of H-Town we haven't got yet. Yeah. Lion of Judah says, debt to whom in relation to America? You know, China own a lot of America. It's a few nations that got a piece of America that, as Minister Farrakhan said, if they ever call that debt, you know how somebody owes somebody a lot of money, but they ain't sweating them. But if they ever call and say, hey man, that little 500 you owe me, man, I need to go and get that. Then the person that owes is like, oh, they in trouble. Because that debt has been called. DC Cutler says, same group running up the debt, paying themselves are the ones owed the debt somehow. AAAB says some good stuff right there. We are living in illusion. Life is how we perceive it individually. But it's all gonna come to a head where everybody gonna see the same thing. We can live in our own little fantasy worlds all day long. Back Porch Studio, what's up, my brother? You know I ain't got nothing but love for you, man. Back Porch, bro. Let me tell you something. Let me look in this camera. I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro. Mean that. Yeah. Devontae, what's going on, my brother? How you doing, young king? Danny boy, I see this open topic, y'all. So whatever y'all got on y'all mind, man, let's get it on. Y'all been on fire tonight. Y'all been on fire tonight. I love it. I love it. Incubus says my childhood cartoons made it seem I was to be guaranteed to be thought to drive. They don't teach MF Gen Z or late Y to drive. Hmm. They still got driver's ed at school, in high school and stuff. Dollar bill, y'all. Dollar bill is in the building, man. We getting ready to drop this comic book, this now Annihilation of the Evil Machine comic book. Let me know if y'all gonna support the comic book, man. We starting pre-orders next week. Everybody that's gonna show love and get a copy of the comic book. Let me see a show of hands, a show of something. Yeah. Erica Mendez is in the building. Aaron Kyle is in the building. God bless you too. Plumpy, what's going on? Sizzlers on Sunday. Ooh, the Sizzler, boy. That's old school right there. That's old school. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. He said, I think they're called nerds. Whatever they call, they got them numbers. Ain't nothing wrong being a nerd. I'm trying to grow into my nerdhood. Every day I become more of a nerd with every passing year. I've learned stuff in the last 5 years. I need to just change my middle name to Urkel. Damn talk. I see you, man. Glad to have you back. I told you don't be a stranger, man. I appreciate you. Surveyor. Thank you, Hallie B. That's the word I was looking for. Surveyors. Yeah, yeah. Crowd estimators. Yeah, all that. That's what it is. Appreciate that, Aaron. Aaron said, "Don't worry about going on with the answer." That's why we're here. In other words, Aaron, like, we don't mind that you talk too much. Everybody just coming in, click the like button, man. We really want to touch 100 likes tonight. I don't think we touched 100 likes in a minute. We really want to touch 100 likes, So let's see if we can make that happen. So everybody, if you haven't clicked the like button, why don't you bless our game with a like button with a like, man. Yeah. Dollar Bill says free keychain on all orders and 10% off bundles until 10/31. Now here's the deal: what y'all understand may not understand. The bundle is um, the whole package of the comic book, not just the comic book itself. It's gonna be a box. if you're not familiar with the first comic book, when you order the bundle, you get this box that has the I think I got one. Hold on, I'm kind of give y'all an example. I'm moving real. My back is jacked up, y'all. So if I'm moving funny, that's why. Let me show y'all what we talking about. Now, this is the first one. We had about we came out with another box later that had the actual front cover on it, but this was the bundle box. You know what I'm saying? Had all this in it, man. It's laid out dope. So when you get the bundle, it's gonna come with in this box with the comic book. I think we had a T-shirt, poster. We had keychain. It was laid out. It was laid out. It was dope. So you know you can get that, or you can get the individual parts. It's all up to you. Yep, yep. Spikey says, would I accept crystals as a gift? I would need to know um, the backstory behind them. I'm familiar with certain aspects of the power of crystals and certain stones and things of that nature. And I believe in some of the powers of it, but I would have to get some knowledge of it. Garrett Garcia says, what is one of your favorite verses that you or someone else had laid down? That me or somebody else? For me, I can't think of nothing for me. But I can always think about stuff I like from other people, man. You know, it's a song on one of KRS-One's album called Rough Rough, RUFF, and they got a brother on there named Freddie Fox, one of the coldest underrated MCs, and I love Freddie Fox verses on that song. NK Rez, what you think about the shutdown? Heard people won't get food stamps for November, and now we don't have no good extracurricular activities in school anymore. No woodwork, no drivers. Yeah, I was just asking about drivers. Yeah, I mean, all I can say about the shutdown, like I say, these are all um, part of the growing snowball that's going down the hill. And yeah, a lot of those programs are being affected by this particular shutdown, but everything goes back to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for me, because he and Minister Farrakhan has been warning about these times that are coming that are here for the longest. So if we have a extreme dependency on those programs, what are we going to do when those programs either are snatched from us, eliminated in some form or fashion, or when the system collapses and nobody's benefiting from that stuff? So we have to, as we should have been doing, but okay, now we're seeing more and more writing on the wall. We have to start storing food and accumulating food and resources for these very moments, because all of us, we've been frivolous with our spending. We've been frivolous and wasteful with food and money and things of that nature. You know, we get some stamps and we go out, we try to figure out a way to flip them and sell them, you know. So we got to start storing food and keeping food in our houses, you know, because our dependency on this government will be our downfall when the downfall of this government happens, and it's here. America is falling. I tell you, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad got a book called The Fall of America. We living in the fall. We just ain't all the way hit the ground yet, but America's in free fall right now. And that's got to be a scary thought for somebody who has a dependency on the food stamps and receiving that service, who are using them the right way. And there's a possibility that it might not be available, just like Social Security and those types of benefits, those benefits that people who have retired and have been living on. It's a possibility those things may not be available. It's like, man, that's a scary thing. But again, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said 90 years ago, do for self. Do for self or suffer the consequences. Erica say you saw the Bible. Okay, Erica. Hoof-hearted says, do you like horses? I like horses. If with your name being hoof-hearted, that meant let me know you love horses. I like horses. I haven't rode a horse since I was in the 5th grade. I went to camp in the 5th grade. I rode a horse. That was the first time and the last time I ever rode a horse. But I like horses. Horses are very intelligent. I like horses. I don't have nothing against horses. Yeah. Okay, so Dollar Bill says it comes with the signed box. Yep. The comic book itself, coloring book, a t-shirt, a poster, keychain, and a fridge magnet. See? So I got all this stuff handy, man. Be up on stuff like that. If you want to get an idea, I gave y'all what the box looked like. This is the fridge magnet from the last one. See? That's the magnet side. Put that on your refrigerator. Some of y'all have metal plates in your head. You can put it right there. If this sticks to my head, that means I got a plate in my head. Uh-oh. But yeah, but this is the this is the magnet on triple. Okay, let me get this glare off here. For the comic book, all this will be part of the box. See? One time we did a pen. See? Y'all see the pen? Up on all this stuff, man. We be trying to bless y'all game. Mars One, I see you. NK Red says the poster gonna go hard when I put it up in the office. No question about it. Yep. What's the link to buy this stuff? Is the link available? Dollar Bill, is the link available yet? Boss Lady, I see you. Hey man, we need 13 more likes, man. If y'all haven't hit the like or you're just coming in, hit that like for me, man. Let's get to this 100 likes. NK says, how was the Million Man March? Do you think we can have another? I don't see it being another one. But it was amazing. It was amazing. Never saw nothing like that. See, to be a part of that kind of history, that's something that, you know, when you read about great historical events, like I said, like the March on Washington that took place in the 60s, there are people who are alive now who were at that historic March on Washington, and they can speak about the events firsthand. It's the same with the Million Man March. Everybody got a story, a Million Man March story, the people who were there, but it was more so about the show of unity, because the minister called for the march not on a weekend, but on a Monday. Now think about this. He didn't say we're gonna meet up Saturday in Washington, D.C. He said, nope, We're going to have this march on a Monday. What's the significance of a Monday? Well, that's the day everybody go to work. That's the day everybody go to school. So all of those men who came, they took off work that day. They brought their sons. Their sons didn't go to school that day. See? And it was a liberating move, because so many of us, even to this day, are so shackled by the modern day plantation, which is our 9-to-5 jobs. And we're so scared and afraid, man, I can't go on a Monday. Man, I don't want to hear my boss mouth. I don't want to lose my job. I can't go. But that was the purpose. The minister, no, we're going to do it on a Monday. And that's a show of your faith as well. Because it's like, okay, you scared, go to work. You know, I say you scared, go to church. If you scared, go to work. But those who ain't scared, we going to DC. So you see all these buses. All you saw was buses, because different individual cities, they had organized ways for groups to go to the march. You know, they set it up to where, okay, you know, these brothers, you might not have the transportation or the means to go. We got buses, and you can get on the bus. Remember the movie Get on the Bus that Spike Lee made after the Million Man March? That was the premise. But because people were literally catching buses, people were flying in, people were driving their own vehicles. And that was the beauty of it. So that's what I remember. But another thing that I do remember vividly is, as we was walking around, and I've said this before, it was just amazing how brothers who didn't even know each other, as you passing by, they just, hey, well, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Where you from, man? Oh, man, I'm from Pittsburgh. Oh, man, I'm from Cincinnati. Oh, I'm from Texas. It was just like you going out your way to like introduce yourself to people and meet people, meet brothers that you would never see again. But in that moment, you had a chance to lock in with people who were of the same mind and different religions. It wasn't a Muslim march. It wasn't a Christian march, even though the majority of the brothers that was there was Christian. See, so think about this. Think how angry the enemy got to be at that, to have a march that was put together by a Muslim leader, and the majority of the attendees were of the Christian faith. Even though there were people who were Pan-Africanists, there were people who were Muslims, there were people who were Christian. I'm assuming all religions were there, or people who had no religion. It might have been some atheists there. We don't know. But for the cause of unity, that one cause was the connecting factor. So those are just some of the things that I remember. Now I got my own. I wrote about my personal trip to the Million Man March in my book. If you want to just know my personal situation. But yeah, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And they did do subsequent marches after that, because the minister did one where he brought the whole family, like there was a Million Family March, but I don't want to mispronounce or misstate. But that was several after, and even did the 20-year anniversary in 2015. And we went back to DC, and I was at that one as well, you know. So I'm gonna pop Minister Farrakhan's collar for him. He ain't gonna pop his own collar. He's too humble. He's too rooted in God. He knows that God blessed him and blessed us with that turnout in that event. But he's the only one. He's the only one that could have did it. None of the other leaders could have pulled it off. Okay, boss lady, you was over there with K to the water. Did y'all leave that beat over there for me? Apocalyptic says we got to support one another instead of supporting our enemies. Yeah, we've been supporting our enemies long enough, and they still drop the ball. They still 36 trillion in debt. We giving them 1.5 trillion a year. That's black people. Spikey says, who else in here spreads K-Rino songs like wildfire? Man, I appreciate that. Michelle says a woman used her food stamps and bought bakery items and then sold them as her own business, and now she's facing 10 years of prison. I saw that story. See, it's so hypocritical. The nation that we live in is so hypocritical, man. Because this is the same nation that'll tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, to get out from under the umbrella of government assistance. So when this sister takes it upon herself to use the resources that she gained from said government assistance and flip it into something that could eventually turn legitimate, they charge her with food stamp fraud. They try to charge her with food stamp fraud. That's crazy to me. Well, you're supposed to use those food stamps to get food for you and your family to eat. Yeah, but government assistance is not meant to be permanent. Only the lazy take the approach that I'm gonna ride this out for the rest of my days. But if somebody takes some initiative, okay, hey man, to me that speaks to somebody who's trying to get out. I'm trying to make it easier on you, government. I'm trying to be one less. If I can build this thing up to where I can get out from under your foot, which you don't want me there no way. But it's hypocritical. It's a double standard. You got all these corrupt politicians. All they do is steal money. All they do is build off the backs of the poor and underprivileged. And they built the empire while the whole economy is collapsing. All they do is make provisions for the rich, for their rich friends to stay rich and get richer. Brett Favre scammed the welfare system in the state of Mississippi. He ain't even been charged with nothing. You got a millionaire, a multimillionaire who decided, oh, well, you know, my daughter plays volleyball for this school, but they need a field, they need a stadium. But instead of him using his own resources or reaching out to some more of his rich friends to get that money, he scammed the welfare system out of the money. He ain't facing 10 years. So I say that's why it's hypocritical. And not only did he scam the welfare system, he scammed the welfare system in one of the poorest states in America. So yeah, I saw that story. But this is where we live, and because it was a sister that did it, they want to stick it to her. This the world we live in. This the country we live in. God bless that sister. I hope that she beats that. We're gonna pray that she beats that. They need to throw that away. Give me 10 more likes, y'all. Spikey says, do you ever see yourself going viral? I don't know. If you do go viral, you want to go for the right reasons. What is viral? What is the number that constitutes somebody going by. I've seen people get something going. They got 20,000 views on something. Say, yeah, man, that video went viral. 20,000 ain't viral, bro. 50,000 ain't viral. 100,000 ain't viral to me. That's good numbers. That's some good numbers. I think 1 million and up is viral, meaning that's not your norm. Now, if you're a social media influencer or somebody or artist, and everything you post gets 2 million, 4 million, 5 million, 3 million views, you ain't going viral no more. That's your norm. But I'm saying you just a regular Joe like me. I put out a video, I might get 500 views. That's super low. So if I get 1 million views on, I make one of my videos and it pop off and get 1 million, that's viral. Because it's like, whoa, this dude popped off for whatever reason. But man, don't be coming to me because you did, you got 40,000. Man, I went viral. No, you put out a pretty good video and got some decent views. That's the best way you can explain that. That's for the people who be thinking they went viral. People have told me, yeah, I went viral. And I looked the thing up, it got 25,000 views. Hey, give me 8 more likes, y'all. Give me 8 more likes. 8 more likes. Let's get to 100, man. NK Reds, you ever linked up with Dead Press? No, I never linked up with I was on a panel discussion one time with M1. And I hollered, I got a chance to meet M1. This was many, many, many years ago. But we never did no music together, nothing like that. Okay, you making it yourself? I got you, boss lady. I got you covered. James B, what's going on? See, I prefer North America continent. Over what? I heard a couple of songs. I don't remember hearing none of Mr. Farrakhan's calypso music. I heard A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell. I heard that song. And I've seen him play the violin more in recent years, but I never heard none of his early stuff. It's a calypso song called Brown Skin Gal. Okay. Strength is independence. And independence is strength. Yeah. Yep, I did say that, apocalyptic. Brendan King says, I was homeless for about a month earlier this year. I saw for myself that the system is set up for you to run around in circles like a hamster on a wheel. One worker even told me that he had looked at the legislation. Wow. Said, and it worried him. I've heard people with 5 million views plus complain that the algorithm is suppressing them. If they wake up with my views, they'll jump off a building. Yep, yeah. Walter says the consistency is more than viral. Yeah, you got to be consistent because you do it for the people. So you can't look at numbers and say, oh man, I ain't gonna keep doing this because I'm not getting a lot of views. But wait, you look, if like I said, you get 400, 500, 600 people checking, that's a lot of people just in general. And they're consistently checking you out. You can't let them down. See, you're being selfish. Need 6 more likes, man. Can we do it? If we got 6 people in here that haven't clicked the like button, Let's get it on. Dollar Bill said, got money for war, but can't feed the poor. Tupac. Yep. No doubt about it. 5 more likes, man. Can we do it? Can we do it? Black Currency says, true. I picked up a lot of business being consistent. That's the key. That's the key, man. You don't know what was about to happen right before you quit. Come on, man. NK Rez, yep, I always lived in Texas. I can't see myself living nowhere else unless something really amazing happen. Yep, yep. 2 more likes, man. Can we do it? But let me tell y'all something about consistency also. You have to establish growth within your consistency too. You can't be consistently the same. See, we think about consistency, we think about the consistent presence. Like I'm doing it every day. I'm doing it every day. I'm doing it every day. I'm doing it. And that's good. But you have to do it with improvement every day. You have to work to improve every day, you know. So the appearance can be consistent, but the quality of what you do has to expand. And that's something we all gotta work on. We need 1 more like, man. If there's anybody in this building that haven't hit that thumbs up, you can be number 100. Number 100. You can do it. Will you come? We're going to pass the collection plate 1 more time. We ain't collecting money. We collecting like. And to whoever just took that like away, man, y'all do that every week. We was at 99, now it dropped down to 98. Which one of y'all took that like away? Got us back needing 2. Okay, now it's back. Yep. Apocalyptic said, if you don't enjoy it, you hurt the quality. Yeah, when you stop loving it, that's like a relationship. You stop loving the person you're in a relationship with, the quality of the relationship suffers dramatically now. Y'all ain't talking to each other. You don't go nowhere. Y'all don't do nothing. You got to love it to get the most out of it. Woo. You got to love it to get the most out of it. Man, I'm a poet and I did know it. You got to love it to get the most out of it. But people fall off when they think they're above it. Come on, man. Your grind don't work because you think you above it. You got to love it if you want the most of it. The grind don't work when you think you above it. Y'all can have that. Y'all won't hear that on none of the new stuff. There we go. Whoever dropped that 100 like, man, I hope you win $20 million and give me 10% of it. That's all I want. Oh my gosh. Libertarian Minded says, I've got a nasty, horrible witch in my life. She's horrible. Then why are you still there? Yeah, you just said I need to run. Why are you still there? I need answers. Because I never understood why people can know that they're in a bad situation, but they stay in it. And people say, "Oh man, well man, right now, man, I ain't got no other options." That man, you already got other options. If it's that bad, bro, you're gonna have to explain to the congregation why you say you need to run, but you haven't ran yet. Oh, back hurt. Brenda says people confuse consistency with persistence. Yep, two different words, two different definitions. Spiky says next time you knock out, you should try consciously breathing until you drift to sleep and keep your mind focused on something if you haven't tried that yet. It can help you dream. I don't be really tripping on whether I dream or not, to be honest with you. And usually when I finally go to bed, I don't have long before I'm out of there. It don't take me long. But I don't be tripping on if I dream or not, even though they say everybody dreams every night. It's just those of us who remember our dreams more than those who don't. That's what they say. I don't know how true that is. NK said, "Who's my favorite comedian?" Oh, that's easy. Richard Pryor is my favorite comedian. He's the greatest comedian of all time. There'll never be anyone greater than Richard Pryor, ever, at least to me. And did you hear that MTV won't be around no more? MTV ain't been around in years. MTV stood for music television. They don't play music on MTV. They haven't. When the last time they had music on MTV? So MTV been gone. MTV as we knew it from back in the days. So if you turn on MTV right now, ridiculousness is probably gonna be on like 800 times in a row. They put on MTV, man. I don't even know what channel MTV is. I just want to see. I just want to see what's on MTV. MTV been gone. Hold on, I got to turn sideways, y'all. I can't just turn like that right now. I don't even know what channel MTV is, but I know I got it. Oh, there it is. Man, look. I just said this. The only thing that comes on MTV is a show called Ridiculousness. And this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm just scrolling across this guide. Ridiculousness came on 85 times until the Big Bang Theory came on. So nothing but shows come on. Why do they even call this MTV? Back to ridiculousness. Back to ridiculousness. It should be the Ridiculousness channel. So it ain't never been no MTV for years. I don't even know whose idea. Who sits up and watch ridiculousness all day, every day? You got to be ridiculous to do that. Oh. When I was growing up, MTV was music television. That's where you saw videos, That's where the controversy came when MTV was super racist, where they didn't want to play Michael Jackson on MTV. Definitely wasn't going to see no rap on MTV. I could care less about MTV. Even VH1, the same thing. They don't play video. There are no video shows no more. There'd be shows that they were video show. They would run videos. They had like a host. Even on BET, when they had Rap City and what's it, The Basement, and even 106 and Party, like they don't do that no more. Because like YouTube and all the social media got a lot to do with it, because you can see all that stuff. But it's like, that stuff dead, man. MTV been gone. Okay, let me get back to my homie Libertarian, man. I need to know what's going on, man. I need to know why you stand with somebody that you described as a horrible witch. No, you said a nasty, horrible witch. All three of them words are bad separately. They definitely bad together. B, what's up, B? Tragic is in the building, man. 11th hour entertainment. Say what's going down, as we say in H-Town, what's going down? Path of destruction coming soon. Whenever K-Rino turns in these last couple of songs. What's up, Tragic? How long you gonna be up? What time is it in Texas? About 10 minutes to 2. Look, man, once again, I'm gonna tell y'all, go watch the latest episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast with PSK 13, man, South Park Coalition, H-Town legend. Is that Loey Green? Thank you. I appreciate that. Uh-oh, hold on. I'm waiting on this answer to this question, man. I'm not gonna rest. Yeah, NK says she got him in a chokehold. Say he got you whipped. Man, say it ain't so. What say Jeremiah? E4 it out, man. Doing corporeal shift tonight. Man. Is that Boba and Shay? Dude, I used to listen to your music when I was a teenager and your stuff really old. Why you say used to? What you mean you used to? I still do music. You left me? What you mean you used to listen to my music, man? Why'd you stop? I got all kind of stuff. I stay putting music out. You got a lot of catching up to do now. Say I don't watch TV anymore. I wish I could say that. PK, what's going on? Ascari, is that Joe Makuri? It's market television. Yeah. Brendan says I dream a lot and remember some in detail. Yeah, man. No, man. No, only thing come on MTV is ridiculousness. You turn on that right now, I get. And I said it before I even looked at it. It's crazy. Brendan says there's a mini doc on how that happened. With I need to know. Nobody wants to watch that. I mean, they run that every day, all day. How can you? I don't know. I don't watch it, so it don't matter. Yeah. Yo MTV Raps. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, that's done. Them days is over. Video Soul. Y'all remember how pretty Sherry Carter used to be on Video Soul? Used to love Sherry Carter. Sherry Carter, man. Shout out to Ananda Lewis. R.I.P. Ananda Lewis. Man. Donnie Simpson. Come on, man. That's what we grew up on. Yep. But don't get it twisted. MTV was racist as all out those. Now we ain't gonna overlook that. They had to finally give in for the sake of their bottom line, because rap was coming and emerging, and Michael Jackson's the biggest artist in the world, and they wouldn't play his music on MTV. Like, come on, man. When Michael and Prince and all them hit, the fan base was like, why y'all not running these videos? They figured out, they learned quickly that fat meat was greasy, because when Thriller hit and all that stuff, they like, they'd have been dumb. What's up, Ansi? I see you. Okay, B, yeah, hit me when I get off of here, B. I didn't get a chance to hit you back the other day. D Nation, what's going on, man? Take that H out my name, D. Take that H out my name, D Nation. Yeah. Ethan says he's talking to libertarians. Say, get out of that as soon as you can, man. It's only gonna get worse. Trust me. She ain't gonna change. If she's a if you're describing her, if you believe that she's a nasty, horrible witch now, man, yeah, you might wanna exit stage left, my brother. Exit stage left. Y'all laughing because that H in my name. Okay, you fell off at Mind Vision. I don't know how many albums I dropped since Mind Vision. I know it came out in 2019, so it might be you might be about 5, 6 behind 7. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I appreciate you. Boss lady, you know I don't even listen to the radio. Glandor says Rick James went off on MTV. I bet he did. I'd love to see that. Who's more famous worldwide, MJ or Bob Marley? If you're saying MJ is in Michael Jackson, that's my answer, Michael Jackson. I love Bob Marley, but Bob was never globally as big, and nobody was ever globally as big as Michael Jackson. Only person that came close would probably be Muhammad Ali. In my eye, just a world figure where anywhere on the planet you just stick this guy and everybody knows him. You can stick him in back Africa. Yeah. Wretched Man says, I heard your album, and although it's far from brilliant, I'm going to give you a 10 out of a possible million. Appreciate that, Wretched Man. Yeah. That's what it is, y'all. All right, man. Well, I've been in y'all way long enough. Drop y'all locations. Let me shout y'all out. Drop y'all locations. Let me shout y'all out. For all of y'all who are tired of the radio and all of the BS on social media, subscribe to my podcast, the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All of y'all who are in here now, I need to get y'all to subscribe to the Underground Dialogue Podcast and watch the latest episode with PSK 13. I'm on my podcast thing. If you like sports, we have a sports podcast called Legends 34. We're very Houston centric, so me and Doug, we're unapologetic homers. Wretched Man is in Louisville, Kentucky. Jason Wilmer is in Michigan. Hold on, gotta position myself for that better. Ascari is in Finland. Erica Mendez is in Beaumont. Ethan is in San Jose. It's that unfadable resilience. Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. Jimmy Robinson is in Anniston, Alabama. NK Rez is in the Bay Area. Keto Gaming is in H-Town. Be blessed, brother. Same to you. Boba and Shy, Australia, my brother. Connie is in the 619, aka San Diego. Put that link in. I keep forgetting. You're right, Ethan. I got to do that. Apocalyptic. So you had to throw that in there, huh? Apocalyptic. Home of the Chiefs, huh? Had to throw that in there, huh? The original boss ladies in H-Town. Piper Fowle is in Beaverton, Oregon. The Party Tortoise, Fresno, California, repping hard. Okay. My homie Olandis Peterson is in Tallulah, Louisiana. Oh no, that's all good, Party. We here every week. And I'm here every day. I drop videos every day, almost. Sometimes. Usually. Just subscribe and turn your notifications on. Yeah. I've been torn down by the world. Now it's time to rebuild. I'm real enough to call you fake, and you too fake to tell me that I'm real. Come on, man. All right, that's what it is, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Trying to remember one last thing before I jump off here. Okay, that's it. All right, I'll catch y'all later on, man. Peace and hair grease.